Hey everyone, I'm Bill. I'm with Calimoto TV. Today we're back here in Sacramento, California at A&S Motorcycles. Today we're interviewing this 2019 GS F850. As you guys know, I've done the brand new 1250, and so this is exciting. This is its little brother, so we're going to get on this thing and interview this and see what we think about this compared to the bigger 1250. Alright everyone, so you've already seen me on the 2019 GS 1250. You've already seen this one today. We're heading over to the brand new 2019 F850 GS. So the little brother, we don't have the big twin, but this should be fun. Chuck's ready to roll. So let's get these gloves on. So already, I cannot wait. I always talk about it. I apologize. I talk about the S1000RR all the time. I can't wait for it to come. But this has the display that the S1000 will have. So I'm super stoked. I am so stoked to get that bike. And best believe we will be doing everything about it here. So now this is the first time I've used these magnet gloves with this jacket, and clearly it's fighting me. I apologize, guys. So GS 850, get this thing started. Chuck's ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. Wagner's back there on a 2018 310R. So you've seen her video on the GS 310. If you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and take a look at that video. So this is much lower than the GS 1250, clearly, but this is the adventure. It's not the adventure model, but it does have the knobby tires on it. Now, we do, right off the bat, I know that we have the quick shifter, because I peeped this one out first, guys. So the quick shifter is here, and wow, that was pretty seamless. So we are in the dynamic mode, so we've got our mode buttons over here, and we've got our heated grips, obviously our on and off button. And then we've got our menus over here with our cruise control. Blinkers, ABS, traction control on and off, hazard lights, horn, everything is right here. I'm loving the BMW seamlessness. They're really getting this thing down. So far, you know, really smooth. Not much vibration. Shifters very smooth. We're in the dynamic mode, so let's switch down to the rain mode. And as always, there's absolutely nothing comparatively. So we're in a nice, smooth, nice, even throttle. Not much there, so we don't have much kick. So it's a very nice, you know, obviously this is a bike that you're going to have in the rain, you're going to have in the wet. So to be able to throw it down in the rain mode is just, it's just awesome. So there's our auto blip down into first. I love my BMW auto blipping. And up we go. Up we go. Just so seamless. And the auto blip, you know, you can be on the throttle a little bit and shift down. So I talk about that in the sport bike stuff. And I really like the way that the the BMW allows you just a little bit of throttle to be able to downshift. Now the Yamaha, you have to be completely off the throttle in order to downshift. So this allows you, I think we're gonna book through this green light. It was green all the way through. So this allows you to have that little bit of play. So we're in the rain mode. So let's kick this up to our road mode. Throttle off, throttle back on. And right away, here, let's get down to third. Sorry, again, I'm a GP shifter, so we'll always have to fight with the shifters on. So third in road mode, blinker over, heading over, heading over. So you can see the throttle response is already much better, already much quicker, right? So you're going to have a little bit in different modes. You're going to have different traction control as well. So it's not just a throttle response with BMW. You're also getting a much different traction control with this as well. So the traction control is going to work more in the rain mode at certain lean angles, and the road mode allows a little bit more lean angle, a little more throttle. And then of course, you know, when you get into the dynamic mode, it really starts to kick it up and allows you to get a lot more over, a lot quicker throttle response and everything. So let's go ahead and switch this into the dynamic mode. And now we're in dynamic. And you can see the revs, just me at idle revving, you can see the rev is much smoother and faster. And look at this display. BMW S1000, guys. Are we excited or what? I am so excited. So I played around a little bit with the GS 1250 and the menu. So let's play around with this one we get. So this thing is just, you see that? Just, this thing has some balls. Wow, this thing, I'm a bit impressed with this thing. Now I rode an old, and bear with me, I had it as a loaner. It was something like a 700 series, and the thing was just gutless, and it was, you know, low cut out, and it just, you know, it just really wasn't the bike for me. But this thing is not bad. If that 1250 is too big for you, you will love this bike. That 1250 is a big bike. You really gotta be a bigger person for that. But this thing is really comfy. Now I believe I saw on the keychain that this thing said the 850 low. I feel like this seat is lower, so I believe I have the low seat on this bike. Let's get a little bit of throttle on this thing. Yeah, this thing has got, I was a little bit skeptical going into this. I like my big horsepower, but this thing is not too bad at all, not too shabby, and the brakes aren't half bad. I believe we were running Brembos even on the I believe this is the basic model. This is not the rally model, and this is not the Enduro model or the GS Adventure. So this is your baseline. I think we're looking at about 16,000 MSRP, somewhere in there. I really wanted them to pull out the rally model. We're looking at nearly 20,000 MSRP for that one, which does have the adjustable suspension, but they just got that one in. It hadn't been PDI'd yet, so they're like, this is the one you get to ride today. So let's enjoy the 850 standard. And so we do have our cruise control, very nice cruise control on this bike. You know, the S1000, you're kind of up like, do we really need the cruise control in the S1000? This thing is going to be very nice to have, because obviously you're going to be more of an adventure seeker on this thing. So you're running more, you know, a little bit more freeway, but then when you get on these back off roads and stuff like that, this is, you know, this isn't going to be really necessarily what you're going to be using for cruise control, obviously, but to get where you're going to be taking your adventure, this is going to be very nice. And the cruise control is very, very nice. One thing I did find for you BMW guys, if you guys haven't found this feature out, I don't know if it's just my particular S1000, but if you roll back off the throttle when the cruise control's on, it will shut off the cruise control. You don't have to pull in the clutch, you don't have to pull in the brake. So if you've got the cruise control set and you just push back on the throttle, it does turn off the cruise control and allows you then to resume that later. So nice big bars. There's our lovely Bogna. She's, you know, she loves those 300s. So the adventure really was something kind of new for her. So she wasn't, she didn't really like the GS 310. But I think this is more kind of her style. So I think, let's figure out a gear. Let's start in second and see how that goes. Sorry, guys. So I think she'll like that. It's a little fitting bike for her. So cruise control on. We're set at 40. Oh, look at that. That's very nice. We've got a set. And then, of course, you know, obviously you push it up. We're going to get more speed. And pull it back, and that would give you the deceleration. So we've shifted, so it's gone green, or it's gone red. But it does leave you the number that you last were set at. So if you did hit the resume button, or excuse me, pull back the resume button, it would have set it back at 48 miles an hour. So if we pull it back, it'll set us back at the 48. So once we get around this bend, I want to try this little pushback thing and see how that works. Now let's get what our Enduro mode. Our Enduro mode is our last mode that we're going to be in. So we're in neutral. Enduro mode. Now we don't have the electronic suspension on this bike. So the Enduro mode, I know, affected the way that the 1250 ran. Get a little air in here. So the 1250 obviously ran a little bit different with the suspension when you get into the Enduro mode. This is just set and obviously can be adjusted. And of course you've got the BMW navigation system. You can hook right up to it. It's nice and seamless, so it's ready to roll. So what are we getting? Let's find out what we get with our Enduro mode on this. Some pretty good throttle. So there's throttle there. So I'm assuming the Enduro is going to affect a little bit more on the traction control. I believe that's where the Enduro mode is really going to go. So let's set our cruise control. Oh, look at that. Cruise control is not available in Enduro mode. Whoa, all right. So let's switch this back to our dynamic mode. There we go. Now we've got our cruise control. So there you go, guys. Cruise control is not available in the dynamic mode. Or excuse me, the Enduro mode. So let's minute with Chuck real quick. So we're cruise control set, okay? I'm gonna roll back on the throttle, and sure enough, the cruise control shuts off, just like the S1000. What's nice about this is you don't have to pull the brakes, you don't have to shut off the cruise control. You're gonna be getting on the throttle regardless, you need to control the throttle. That's why you're going to bump it back, turn it off, and then you've got your control of your throttle. So again, we've got our cruise control set. I need to control the throttle. I'm going to bump it back, turns the cruise control off, and now I've got control of my throttle. And we didn't have to slam on the brakes. We didn't have to pull in the clutch. We didn't have to do anything with shifting. So very, very nice. Very, very nice. So cruise control, I love the cruise control. So enough with the cruise control. Auto blip shifter, seamless, love it. Menu button while we're riding. Menus, we've got nothing available. Nothing available in the menu. Now up top, we're pushing our menu button up and we're scrolling through. We've got our 16 total miles and we've got our fuel to empty, fuel gauge, and back to total miles. So that's nice. Back into our menu mode, and there is no settings because we are driving, obviously. So we do have, typically, if you did have your navigation set up or your phone or media set up, you could obviously run through the fields. I believe they will allow it when you're moving, but you see the settings as we stopped, the settings were allowing you to go in. So, and once we start moving, the settings go away. Obviously, we need to stay focused. So we'll head out of the menu button now. I'm really enjoying this thing. This thing is very comfortable. Now the seat, I believe I'm on the low seat again. I'm 6'2", and you know, so I've got, you know, my knees are still slightly bent when I stand, or you know, when I stop. So I've got plenty of room. I think the reason why I think I got the low seat is the seat's coming up in the back on me a little bit, which is fine, not bothersome at all. It's actually kind of somewhat actually comfortable. It's given me a little bit more cushion there on the back tailbone, so something that I can feel like, you know, this is definitely something I can take out and do some of that dual purposing. It's got more like enduro tires on it, so not knobbies, but they do have a little bit more aggressive feel to it. Well, not really feel. I don't want to say feel because they feel good. They really do. But look to it, right? So I think, you know, running on dirt roads, back roads, doing the enduro mode, I can see this thing is just a blast, just absolute blast. So, so the 850, it's new this year, 2019. And let's test the brakes. Got a little ABS, not too bad. You can see the brakes work just fine. Thanks for the brake check, Chuck. Brake check, Chuck. So, you know, I dig it. I dig it. We're good. Hey guys. I dig it. You know, I'm up. Like, what do I think? Do I think more of the 1250? I think as a first adventure bike, that 1250 is a big bike. I think if I was doing enduro and I was doing off, and I've never gone, I'm not an off-roader, so you guys know that. I'm a street guy. But if I had to go off-road, I would choose this bike. I would choose this bike over the 850, guys. Really, the reason is because it's lighter, it's more nimble. I got more control over this bike. The 1250 was it's just a big bike. So this, if we were really in more of a terrain style, this would be the bike to go with. It's got power, it handles, big bars, low, so I can get my feet down. I mean, we got power, right? There's look at this, yeah. All the features, amenities, you got a beautiful screen, Love it. So back here in A&S, haven't talked about Randy today. Randy, thank you. Thank you. Randy is the bomb. He is so great. Thank you for letting us do these rides. So we're going to check back out of here. We've got a couple more beautiful rides today. So thank you guys for sticking around. We've got, let me get off this thing and give you guys a glimpse of this just as a final note, because we got our 2019 GS 850. This thing is beautiful looking, really. And you got your 1250 back there, so you can see it's a much smaller, more nimble bike. So if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, give us a comment. We've got a dealership full of motorcycles we can ride. If there's something you would like us to ride, let me know, and we'll see you next video. Thanks, guys.